And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning subscriber, if you're new here, welcome. Feel free to press that red subscription button so you can join the family, as well as checking out my previous videos on my channel. Some of you can already tell I will be reviewing the Himi Gouache 24-piece gouache set today, which includes 3 paintbrushes and a paint palette. Along with this review, I'll be using some of my own personal paints, as well as some mixed media Canson paper, which I will describe down below in the description box. Most of my reviews, I did my swatches beforehand just to make sure everything was all right with the paints and it wasn't that the paints or myself was using them incorrectly, and to give you all an honest, true review. I would also like to mention that this is my first time using gouache in general, not just the Himi set, but gouache as a whole. So I don't 100% know how to use these. I did watch some YouTube videos to figure out how to use them by adding water to create a watercolor texture, or just using them straight up as kind of an oil or acrylic kind of dry paint. I used both techniques in this piece that I'm illustrating today, and it was really fun just to experiment with a new medium that I hadn't explored before. So as you can see, I wanted to start off with black in this piece just to see how opaque these gouache can really get. And honestly, I was really surprised by how pigmented, how dark this black truly is. Even when watered down, I was still getting a really saturated color that really wasn't clear at all, which was amazing, especially for a paint, which is sometimes hard to get with, obviously, watercolor. You can't get this dark. But in acrylic, depending on the brands, sometimes it's really difficult to even get to this stage. But with gouache, it seems really easy. So if I want black in other pieces and I'm just using acrylic, I probably will end up using this black gouache again. As far as mixing 2 different colors together, as you can see, I was trying to mix that light peach tone with some brown, and it became a little bit difficult to me because sometimes the paint as itself would be a little bit too thick for me to blend together and would need even more water than I expected. So that just might be a technique issue that I'm still learning, but just keeping that in mind for anyone that would be using these for the first time. I would also like to mention that this 24 set has a really amazing range of colors in the pack. As you can tell on my upper right in the screen where my swatches are laid out, there's an extensive amount of reds, purples, burgundies, and even reddish oranges. So I think this set was really made for orange colors. But also, as you can see on the bottom left of my swatches, there's a lot of peach, gold, orangey yellows that you can also mix and play with. And there's a pretty nice ratio of greens to blues as well that can be mixed to create even more different shades of reds, purples, blues, greens, yellows. The limits are extensive with this set. Like, I feel like you can basically make any color with these, which is amazing and something that you really want in a set. So you don't have to go out and buy something separately. You have everything you need right in this set. The one thing that I don't like about this set might have to be the pouches or little squares that the paint comes in themselves, because after you peel off that lid, there's a really high sense that they're going to dry out if you don't close them correctly. So what I'm planning to do is, after using these today, taking my blue painter's tape that is on my drawing at the moment and taping those edges down just to make sure it's sealed and no oxygen is able to get in and dry the paints out. In this review, I would just like to mention the brushes themselves. They're great quality brushes. You can tell they're synthetic, but they're smooth, they're stiff, but also stick the hairs together even after painting with them for a while. I can't speak for them in a long term just because this is my first time using them, but they seem like really good quality brushes that will be able to last for a really long time. There you have it. This is my review for the Himi Gouache 24-piece set, including 3 of their Himi brushes and paint palette, doing a little outer space women femme illustration. I would just like to say I would recommend these Himi Gouache. I would rate them a little bit lower on my usual scale, maybe like an 8.5, just because of those paint pouches, and I feel like there isn't a technique to keep them from drying out in the long term. Besides that, I do think they're great. And other than that, that's about it for me today. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.